Who is bold and brave enough to face Stephen A. Smith as the new co-host of First Take? Starting July 25th, we are taking this show to the max. The newest member of the First Take family is ESPN's own Max Kellerman. In exactly 2 weeks from today, he will be part of the exciting new era of the best sports debate on television. We now welcome in the man himself, Max Kellerman. As we mentioned, July 25th, it goes down right here in Studio E with Stephen A. Smith. So let's begin with a message from Stephen A. Smith, who says, "I am ecstatic to have Max on board. We've known one another for years. We worked at ESPN New York together, and we both love our boxing. More importantly, Max is smart, quick on his feet, and never, ever afraid to go at anyone. Just the kind of partner I wanted. It's time. Let's go. Cannot wait." Max, we welcome you into Studio E, still chilling in California as we speak, but making a move out here shortly. We know about your history in boxing. Will you and Stephen A. be bringing that to the table here?
Oh, it's going down. It is going down on this show right now. Not just about boxing, but about basketball. Stephen A. and I used to chop it up about all kinds of subjects on and off air when we were in ESPN New York for years, and this is going back a decade about. But obviously, especially about boxing and basketball.
You mentioned basketball. We know obviously about Stephen A.'s position on Kevin Durant. Where do you stand in his decision to join the Warriors?
I didn't have a problem with it. I would have had a problem with it had the Warriors won the championship. If the Warriors go back-to-back titles, 73 wins, all-time wins record, and especially had they taken care of the Cavs in 5 or 6 games, something like that, and then Durant leaves the Thunder, who are improving and making strides, to go to that team, that's naked ring chasing. The fact that the Warriors lost to the Cavs and that Steph Curry, let's face it, he choked. I mean, he played much under expectations, much under his normal standards. The fact that that was the case leaves a little opening for Durant to make the decision he made. And it's tough to fault him for wanting to go to a team that's maybe less talented than the Thunder, but plays basketball the way he wants to play, the quote-unquote right way.
One of the other big moves in free agency, of course, is Dwayne Wade joining the Chicago Bulls. How will this impact not only the Bulls, but also the Heat going forward?
I love this move for everyone involved. I think the Heat get out of paying for Dwayne Wade's declining years. He was playing at an all-star level last year. Remains to be seen this year. And then the year after that, it gets less and less likely, especially at this age. Guys tend to fall off a cliff eventually. So the Heat get out of that situation with Bosch's future, what it is, or if there's a future there. LeBron now gone, obviously. They can turn the page. Dragic and Whiteside, not bad guys to start to try and build something around. Meantime, Dwayne Wade gets to go home when he still has something left. You know, he's not going as a guy who can't play anymore. He was just playing at legitimate all-star level last year, one of the best two-way two guards in the league last year. So he gets to go home while he still has something. And then what's he going home to? What do the Bulls have? Well, it remains that maybe not enough shooting in that backcourt. You got Rondo and Wade and Jimmy Butler. But you got a real stretch for Mirotic, who I think has to get real minutes right now, even though Taj Gibson's on the roster. And of course, the Robin Lopez trade. In Robin Lopez, you have a guy without the brand name of Joakim Noah, but given where Noah is in his career right now, Lopez is in his prime. He's less expensive, and at the moment, he's better. So I love this for the Bulls. They're at least interesting. They got a shot to do something in the East, maybe win a playoff series. I think it's good for everyone involved.
I'm glad that you're excited for my hometown Bulls, Max. Let's do some quick hitters with you so that the First Take audience knows where you stand. We begin with boxing. Manny or Floyd?
Well, Floyd is beat Manny Pacquiao, and at the weight is better than Manny Pacquiao. Pound for pound, that's a different conversation. Manny Pacquiao started at flyweight, won his first lineal world title at flyweight, and rampaged through divisions. Pound for pound, there's a very good argument for Pacquiao. But in that division, head-to-head, Floyd.
To the NFL, how about Brady versus Manning?
I'm one of those stupid guys who thinks that if you win championships, well, that's a team award, et cetera, that has an effect on me. So and the fact that Peyton Manning has fallen off so severely throughout most of his career when you needed him most in the playoffs, still an effective player oftentimes, but not nearly what he'd been in the regular season, has me lean toward Brady.
From the NFL to the NBA, you've been stationed in LA for a while. Kobe or LeBron?
LeBron. I mean, at this point, what LeBron just did was have his Muhammad Ali moment. His Muhammad Ali against George Foreman in Zaire, when there's just no way it's going to get done at this point. You're down 3-1. This team just won 73 games, overcame adversity against the Thunder. It's a wrap for LeBron and the Cavs. That's when you pull off the miracle there. Then, for LeBron to ever catch Jordan. Jordan never choked in 4 straight finals games. But everyone else, LeBron is still in LeBron's sights. And if LeBron wins another championship next year, he's kind of forced himself back into the Jordan conversation, let alone the Kobe conversation.
And lastly, we know you guys touch on the old pop culture over there on Sports Nation. So we got to ask, favorite Game of Thrones character?
It would be easy to say the Khaleesi, right? That would be easy. And now that she's with Dinklage, those two, they're coming. I actually like, what's her name? The old one, the aunt who had to flee with the religious people who were coming to get her. And that one, whatever her name is. I can't keep track of all
So is it Marjorie's grandmother?
Yes, that's my favorite character.
All right, we'll be sure to discuss much more of that when you join.
So you don't even know her name, Marjorie's grandmother.
I don't know her name, but she is she's an OG, if you will.
That's right.
All right, Max Kellerman, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to send it over to the desk because we do have a couple guys that you know well. Mason Ireland here, and I know they want to hit you with some hard stuff before you get over here to Studio E.
They always do.
Max, I'm confused. You just got to Los Angeles. You're leaving?
Been here for almost 6 years.
6 years?
6 years? Are you kidding me?
6 years.
Right,
That's Duncan-esque.
It seems like 20.
So let's.
Yeah, how much perfect weather and all this kind of stuff can one man take?
I seriously thought we had you. I thought that once you moved to LA, you would never go back. And 2 of your daughters were born there, right?
2 of my daughters were born here, and none of them wanted to leave.
Okay, Max, I want to tell you something. Ready?
I'm ready.
You don't want to make an enemy of me. I am looking
it's too
right
late for that,
through
Mace.
the camera right now. I can see you.
That would have been much more intimidating if we could see you.
I know. It's
if he was
terrible.
here.
I was like, where's my single?
So do you, Max, let's get to what's really important. When is the garage sale? You have too much stuff now that is like unique to LA. You have an LA car. I'm sure you have stuff that, I want to get all the stuff that you don't need anymore. How do I get my hands on that?
You are not kidding. Like, that's actually, when you move someplace, this is what people actually do. Like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? What do I sell it? Give it to people? I don't know what to do.
Well, we'll miss you, and congratulations. You'll be in good hands back here.
I was just waiting for you. I thought I was getting this job. I'll be honest.
Until like 10 minutes ago, he thought.
I thought I was playing my way into this job, and apparently I've been overlooked once again.
Mace, I assumed you turned it down.
Yeah, no, you're right. I did pass. There's no way I'm leaving Los Angeles. No,
well,
you will be missed.
Good luck for me.
You will be missed by a small segment of our station's audience that likes you.
And me. You'll be missed by me.
But
Thank
only
you,
because he wants your stuff.
No,
Once
congrats,
again,
Max.
Speaking of LA, we've got John Ireland and Steve Mason here from our ESPN LA radio station. And breaking news this morning on ESPN, San Antonio Spurs forward Tim Duncan has announced he will retire after 19 seasons with the organization. Since drafting Duncan, the Spurs won 5 championships and posted a .710 winning percentage, which is the best 19-year stretch in NBA history. Obviously one of the greatest. But John, where does he rank amongst the greatest?
He, Jen, put simply, is the best power forward ever to play in the NBA. Ever. His competition would be Karl Malone or Kevin Garnett. He's better than both of them. And Jen mentioned that statistic, that his winning percentage with the Spurs was .710. That's not only the greatest 19-year winning percentage in NBA history, it's the greatest winning percentage for any individual in any major sport. He is the absolute benchmark for power forwards from this day moving forward. And he did it quietly. He did it efficiently. His nickname was perfect, the big fundamental. You would look down and the guy would have 21 points and 20 rebounds, and he would just kill you. And I'll tell you, I feel for the people in San Antonio because when we lost Kobe, it was a sad day. They're losing Duncan. There is nothing, guys, that I can say negative about Tim Duncan. He was excellent defensively. He was first team all defense 11 or 12 years. He was the best offensive player. He made it through 4 reincarnations of the Spurs. First, he won a title with Robinson. Then he won a title with Manu and Tony when Tony was the best player. They won a title when he was the best player. He won a title when Kawhi was the best player. Just the ultimate team guy and ultimate respect for
that guy. And amazingly, he won championships in 3 different decades.
Sure did.
Nobody else has ever done that. 17 consecutive seasons of 50-plus wins in San Antonio. All-time record. No other team has ever done that. You know, his knock is that he isn't big enough a personality, right? He is very quiet. He's the big fundamental. I don't think anybody really appreciates. Anybody think, is he a good Twitter follow? Probably not.
I would doubt he's on
Twitter. Not even on Twitter.
Yeah.
Does he have a Facebook page? Probably not. So I think for this generation of younger NBA fans, he's like, hey, he's the old boring guy. He's the old, it's not the big fundamental, it's the big bore. But the reality is that he never worried about brand. He never worried about being on magazine covers. He never worried about having attention. He wasn't an attention fame seeker. He just wanted to do his job, and he did it unbelievably well.
Want to hear a Tim Duncan fact that'll surprise you guys? Pierced tongue.
Oh, that's...
Tim Duncan has a pierced
Do we really
tongue.
Need that?
All right. Another great Duncan story. Yeah. When he was, and this exemplifies what a great player Duncan was. His second year in the NBA, he couldn't shoot free throws. He was a Shaquille O'Neal-like 50% free throw shooter. He went out, shot them every day, worked himself up, and at the end of his career, he was a 70% free throw shooter. So he just had no weakness.
Here's another, there's another one people don't know. Superman tattoo right on the front of his shoulder.
It is unusual to see somebody...
No, I just made that up.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know what to say to that.
That would be so anti-Duncan.
It is unusual, though.
Well,
much
the
like
pierced tongue thing you wouldn't have believed.
No, never.
To see someone so universally revered in their sport, is that because of the way he carried himself?
I think it's because of his talent. I mean, he was just, Jen, he was better at this than anybody else. I mean, what's the comp to Tim Duncan? Malone, ran the floor better, was a better scorer than Duncan, but Duncan was a better defender and a better rebounder. Garnett was a spectacular defender and had a couple of years where he was maybe better than Duncan, but Duncan, Steve, was count on him every night for 20 years.
And there was also an unselfishness about Duncan. Like, he didn't care that Tony ran the team one year. He didn't care that Kawhi emerged and ran the team. He was totally happy and comfortable doing his role as his role continued to change over the years.
And Greg
by the
Popovich...
way, and took less money. That's the other thing. Yeah. He took less money to stay in San Antonio and allow them to bring in a new crop of talent and a great role model and a great model, I think, for younger players who went to San Antonio.
And Greg Popovich says, guys, that because he had Tim Duncan, he was able to create that culture. Because Duncan did all those things that Steve talked about, when they went to him halfway through his career and says, Tony Parker is going to be the one on this team now. You've been the one for 7 or 8 years. Tony's talent demands it. He's going to be the one. They go to the finals. They win it. Tony's the NBA Finals MVP. When Kawhi got there, when LaMarcus Aldridge got there last year, they said, Tim, you got to go into the background. And because your best player was willing to do that and your best player was coachable, it made everybody else follow the leader. And Duncan was the leader, and they had that culture, and that's how they built 20 years of success in San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, and that egolessness, I believe that's a term, egolessness,
I think you finally made up a word,
that the Golden State has. Really, the first time we saw it was with San Antonio in actually many years, but in 2014. You look, and everybody says, oh, that was a boring team. You know what? That was a beautiful team to watch. They moved the basketball. They were unselfish. They played a high-test kind of defense. And so, yes, the rap is they're boring. They're not boring if you're a basketball fan. John, you watch so many more basketball games than I do. That is beautiful basketball.
And the 2014 team you talked about was the birth of the Warriors.
Yes.
Steve Kerr basically took that and said, okay, we're going to put that in Golden State. And here's another thing that's just so typical of Duncan. Tomorrow, they're going to have a press conference in San Antonio announcing Duncan's retirement, and Duncan will not be there. It will be just Greg Popovich talking about Duncan. He just didn't care, Jen, about getting the credit or who got the credit. He just wanted to win, be a part of a winning team. and he was the best player, and everybody knew it. And it didn't matter that he didn't have, like Steve talked about, a brand.
Yeah.
He may be the last athlete we see that is a brandless athlete.
Tomorrow, will Popovich cry?
No.
Will he tear up?
No.
Will he be emotional?
Here's why.
Yeah.
Greg Popovich used to be the coach at the Air Force Academy, and Greg knows people that kids he coached who have gone off to war and died. He likes to say, hey, man, we're in the toy store of life. I'd be very surprised if he teared up. He's a military tough guy.
I do appreciate that you answered all of his questions with one-word answers in Pop fashion. Bravo to you on that one.
Yes.
It is very difficult to quantify why someone is successful, but where do you think the consistency that he had with Greg Popovich as a head coach for his career there, where do you think that ranks as far as why he was
Well, I think that
It didn't hurt that he went to college for 4 years.
No, he did go to college, went to Wake Forest for 4 years. I think organizations are great. Teams are great when there is perfect alignment between ownership, coach, and star player. And they absolutely had that. The fact that Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich built such a degree of trust. Duncan became Popovich on the floor. He was the embodiment of the kind of basketball that he wanted his team to play.
And I'm sure Pop will say this tomorrow, Jen, because he could yell at Duncan and Duncan would take it, because Duncan was coachable, it allowed Pop to yell at everybody else, and that's how they got that alignment that Steve's talking about. We may not see another player like Tim Duncan ever, a guy who just doesn't care about commercials or media or brand and wins every year. 50 wins every year. I mean, who does that? Not even Kobe. I mean, it's unbelievable career. Kudos to Tim Duncan. Wow.
Yeah, I would say I would love to debate and say something bad and then stick to my position and then yell at John. But in this particular case,
what do you say bad about him?
There's nothing you can say. Nope. Like, what is the other side of this?
Universally
argument?
Respected too by everybody in the NBA.
Yeah, and that is, as we said earlier in the show, very rare. So we are certain that the respect will continue to pour in for Tim Duncan as he announces his retirement from the league after 19 seasons. Moving on.